Hey, what's going on, mother fronters? Let's keep it clean. Let's keep it safe. This is Mick Motherwell, Menace to Sobriety. When I say that, that means I've been drinking, and I'm mad about a lot of shit, and I'm here to talk about it. Let's just put me on the screen for a minute, because I'm fucking gorgeous. By the way, the mustache is coming back. What's going on? How's everybody doing this evening? I'm going to put the link to join the show. If you'd like to join on video or audio, you most certainly can. It is now in the comments, and it is right there on the screen. So type that shit in. Don't worry about it if you can't copy and paste. I get it. It takes work sometimes to accomplish something. Not enough people are working. Not enough people are working hard for shit. Tons of people my age, they're working for 2 weeks and they think they understand what hard work is. And that's fucking dumb. I did everything right today except grab my glass, which means that, oh, I do have my glass. 1 second, found it. Whew. I'm going to say that means that I cannot drink during this, but I need to drink if I'm putting up with all of your shit. Anyway, a couple of questions on the live. I don't know, the buttons up there, the links up there, the clicks up there, the title of the show. I'm going to bring my buddy James on tonight to join me. He's a fun guy always. Couple of questions. Well, here's the deal, real quick. I was supposed to do a gig in Atlanta Friday. Plane got delayed like 4 fucking hours, putting me into a different plane, everything. Safety precaution, no complaints. Thank God I'm alive, but didn't get to do the gig. All that being said, that's one of the questions we're going to talk about, travel delays and shit like that and how we should complain. We also should talk about LeBron James winning a national championship. I just think, even if you don't like basketball, a lot to talk about there because Michael Jordan is the greatest, is what a lot of people say. And then racist restaurants are now a thing. It's actually now a thing. Go to Yelp. You can go to any restaurant you want, and you can be a Yelper, and you can label that restaurant or give that restaurant a tag that says, like, so if I've never been and I want to research that restaurant, I go on a Yelp and I see racist restaurant warning. So that's a new thing we're going to talk about this evening when I bring my buddy on. A couple of those things we're going to talk about. Also going to talk about body parts. It's of other people that you may not have been supposed to see at a certain point, and what happened with you and what that did to you. I think there's a lot of cool shit to talk about there. By the way, I am not a child molester, and I am not a 12-year-old. I think I look like both sometimes. I've just started to grow my mustache back, so dig it or get the fuck out of here. Don't know where I was going with everything, to be fair.
I know I'm going to bring my buddy on. What I'm trying to look for is like comments and stuff, but I just don't think I'm getting any. So that's okay too. By the way, this is Mick Motherwell. That's what I was getting at. Supposed to have the gig in Atlanta. Didn't get it. Let's finish with this. I do have a gig next Thursday, stand-up comedy at Creative Veins. Come see me. I think it's going to be a lot of fun on Thursday night. But what I did want to do is tell you about podcasts. I've been working hard at a new job in the real life, and so now podcasts are back. On Thursday, I have a Self-Awareless with Will Powers. He is the self-proclaimed vigilante of local pedophilia. You know what I mean? This guy's a badass. He's cool. Got a lot going on. He's funny as well. So join me for that. We're actually going to go live so we can disagree with anyone who doesn't like us. I have coming up Music Mills Entertainment. Dave Mills from Music Mills Entertainment is coming up next Tuesday. That'll be out. I have on next Thursday, Thaxton Rowe from Thaxton Friends from Colored Sound. Fantastic, fantastic artist. Colby Word will be on in the next couple of weeks. He is a great artist, but he's just going to be joining me for Self-Awareless. Duncan Cannon and I, Frank and the Jobber podcast, and I are joining a little bit of forces. They are hosting a live podcast next Wednesday, the 21st, at Jay's Tavern and Soundhouse. And I will be a bit of a guest on that show with them for a little bit. So I think that'll be a lot of fun. Without further ado, that's enough about me. I'm going to tell you all that again at the end of this episode. So if you didn't hear it, you just want to fuck rewinding. Just listen to the whole thing. I'll tell you it again. That shit'll be great. But I'm going to bring on James Tiley. And you know what? I'm going to retake that. In a world where there was no hope at all. And he's just like some bombs going off in Syria. And then there's Trump being like, I'm immune. And there's just clips of that. And then it's like, one man. And a couple more clips like that. And like another bomb, like a bus, like speeding down a highway and people screaming. And it's like, joins the Mick Motherwell podcast. Live this Tuesday. It's James Tiley. And then at the end, it's like someone's like, you know, mill batteries and anyway, what's going on, James?
Is he holding you by the balls?
I just told my wife that she just said, wow. That's real time right there. I said, he's making me do. I said, she's making me.
Somebody shut that fucking dog up.
They can't hear you.
This is on the radio.
You always make me put on the beats. They can't hear you. See, I learned by watching you, okay?
So I kind of like that. That's back. It's actually back to my first topic, James. How many times have you been on a plane or a bus or at the bank or at a restaurant where there's a dog and or a baby making real, like you could put up with it for a minute, right? But then they're making a real annoying noise. And sometimes it's not even barking. It's licking balls, which the one behind you was just doing.
Hey, that's my support animal.
But so a few years ago, before I was married, I was dating my wife. I obviously said it quietly, but was a baby crying or a dog bark. I was like, someone shut that fucking baby up. And my wife laughed her ass off and it worked. So it's always been like a little quiet inside joke when that's going on somewhere. But now that I have a kid, I will walk 50, 60, 80, 4,000 feet away from my wife. And when that baby's going nuts, I'll yell, somebody shut that fucking baby up. And sometimes you don't even need to use the F word, which you got to read the room. Dude, it's great. It's my baby. So no one's saying anything anyway because it's
Maybe
uncomfortable as fuck. It's uncomfortable.
Might not be your baby for long.
Oh, my wife knows what I'm doing. And she she hates it so much, but it's like she can't get mad for real. It's like I'm not saying it for real. So it's a whole different kind of mad. So people are looking at her like, what the fuck? Anyway, to my first question or first topic tonight. I had a big travel delay. But before we get into all that and the people fact, you ever traveled with your dogs? Like on not a car, like a plane.
No, it's bad enough with a wheelchair. You want me to bring a dog?
Oh, for fuck's sake. I didn't even think about that, man.
I got
that shit's crazy. Speaking of which, I'm getting legless tonight. No, I tried, man. Some are good, some aren't. I saw a few people doing it the other night, man, and we got delayed like 4 hours and had to move planes. It's all about safety. That's great. But these are like these dogs.
Wait a minute. You're flying to Atlanta?
Atlanta. It's a 44-minute flight, dude.
Why would you fly? You can't. Right.
Well, you can't get off because you're stuck on the plane. If you don't have a connecting flight, you're stuck on that plane. They're keeping their money. Even if you got the insurance. Then it's, well, we're going to take you out and put you in another plane. It's an hour wait. It's half an hour. We'll get you in there. Or you can wait for your fucking credit. Or you can fight for your money back, which is like it's $100 flight. But it's also just
slow down. I have an issue.
I've got plenty of issues.
You drove 30 minutes south.
No, I work in town, so it was like a 10-minute drive to the airport.
All right. So you drove 15. My question is this. I mean, you get out. You're almost right. You get on the plane. This is your captain speaking. We will be taking off right about now, flying at an altitude of. And thank you for flying. And all of a sudden
he puts it on autopilot. Takes a piss, comes back in and goes, all right, we're going to be taking our descent now. It's like as soon as you get up, because I think it's like a requirement for those jets like to get up and go or they don't fly. Like you have to, it's like there's no flights from like here to Orlando.
So what is the threshold where you make that conscious decision that wait a minute, $35 in gas in a Toyota Tercel.
It's 6 hours. It's a 5 to 6 hour drive that you're wasting 5 hours with your buddies. Like you don't live up that. Well, you've got to throw that in. There's sentimental shit. I've definitely drove, but this was a 1-day trip. It's flying in Friday at 7, leaving Sunday morning.
I don't see like flying to Atlanta as a.
It's $100. It saves that time. It saves 5 hours. Yeah, I mean, literally, if it works. But I've also flew from Atlanta to Jacksonville. It's taken me 10 hours. There was traffic in Atlanta, and most of the people in my flight were in the same line as I was, 10 in the morning or whatever. Oh, y'all missed it. Like, they took off with 17 people on the plane when there's like 50 of us, like, hey, there's traffic in Atlanta. Like, just be delayed. There's like a MARTA accident or some shit.
Right.
It's huge. Anyway, they're like, oh, man. And I had to go. It was like for like Thanksgiving with mom or some shit, right? So I go and I have a couple of beers. It's like 3 hours, 4 hours till I get my flight to Charlotte. Okay, from Atlanta to Charlotte. I'm going to. It's a 44-minute flight. Look that shit up.
I guess the emotional block I have is that it's the same state.
Yeah,
right?
I understand that.
You live here, you're going there. From New York, right? New York is a gigantic state. And,
Georgia's way bigger.
No, absolutely not.
Georgia's the biggest state east of the Mississippi. Fact. That's fact, dude. 100%. Actually, let me do this because I've got the podcast going. Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Biggest Georgia state bigger than New York?
Oh, biggest state east of the Mississippi. Yep.
Okay.
And it's Georgia.
By what? By
how much?
There's a loophole.
What's the second largest? Oh, the second largest is Florida. So we can keep going if you'd like. The biggest states in order. So now we'll go find New York. And we'll find. God, New York's not even in the purple zone.
All right. I guess. Yeah. When you look at it on a
Oh,
map,
you fucking dumb piece of shit. Where's New York?
Where the hell's
New York's 27th. Well,
you know
to be fair, Georgia's 24th. So that means, what did we just say was a second? Florida?
Yeah. Well,
Florida's, see that this is a different map. This is like population or something. It says land area, but we all know Georgia's bigger than Florida.
So I concede to you being correct, but here's why my brain went there.
The fucking amount of people?
No. You could go from Manhattan to the Canadian border, just north of Plattsburgh, New York. It'll take you 12 hours. But yet in Georgia, can you name a town in Georgia where it would take you 12 hours?
No, but you can also go from Staten Island to Manhattan in 2 hours.
4 hours. Right.
Yeah, that's different. There you go. Or 4. And that's fucking ridiculous. It's people.
But once you get north of...
Florida's 26, Georgia's 21, and New York is 30. New York's number 30 on the list.
So my argument was going to be...
oh, my God.
My argument was I would never fly to Buffalo from, like, Queens. It wouldn't even dawn on me. Right? I'm not going to Westchester.
Like, it's just accessible, man. It's so convenient if you can do it. For $100 to save $5... You're driving alone, too. But you're a big car guy.
Yeah, I
think that's a little bit of the difference? Like, you kind of enjoy the 5-hour drive? Because I fucking hate it. And I'm a dad now, so I've always got to do it.
If your car stalls, you pull over to the side of the road. If your plane stalls, you die. So.
That's what you're fucking worried about? So here's the deal. My flight got delayed for 4 hours. Guess why? The reverse thruster made like a little ding-dong on the meter when they landed to pick us up.
Your plane didn't even have...
4 hours or 3 hours they worked on that shit and couldn't get it right. So like, we're getting another fucking plane. Like,
this plane didn't even have phalanges.
There's
no phalanges.
So, what happened is COVID, they had one mechanic instead of 2, and they're like, dude, we can't keep these people. We got to fly them there. So whatever happened, it was a safety equipment issue, which is so awesome that like, that's how much, it's a 44-minute flight over land. That's how much shit, like how much they give a shit, right?
And by the grace of God, they found it before you got on the plane. I call that luck.
We can. So back, literally to your point, literally what you're saying. You call that luck. I call it different, but I can understand what you're coming at, right?
Getting on a plane, you're betting it all on red.
And I fucking think that's dope because the science behind it is we're actually flying somewhere. We don't have wings. We're flying. There's a huge miracle that we're getting on this huge machine and flying somewhere, right?
I can't even walk. You want me to fly?
We should all agree with that in a weird way, right? But what I'm trying to say is, and this is what bothered the fuck out of me, is for every one of us, James, oh man, we're flying. This is crazy. This is weird. Look at that safety. Look at that safety. Look at this luck. Look at this luck. All this positive shit about it. For every one of you and I, there was another 10 on my plane that were just like, this is fucking ridiculous. Why the fuck? Like, they're mad. They're pissed. They're raging red. I haven't eaten all day. This is fucking ridiculous. Hold on. Like, do you want them to fucking take off? Do you want them to take off?
I'm right in a strongly
Do you want to drive a car with 3 wheels? I mean, you're basically what you're saying. Like, it's a plane. So everything is that extreme. It's not just, the taillight's out. It's essentially a car with no oil or something. Like, it's that extreme. That's the risk, like you're saying.
Ironically, I believe that planes have 3 wheels.
Yeah, I think they do. Well, no, they got 3 sets of wheels. I think they end up having 6 wheels at the end of the day.
No phalanges and
no
4
phalanges,
wheels.
motherfucker. But yeah, that was my big problem is I could have roasted every one of them. But first of all, you have to wear a mask. And second of all, you can't be aggressive on a plane. For the last 19 years, you are not allowed to be even a bit of a cocksucker on the plane.
Bro, they will beat you like a Georgia State trooper with a black guy. You cannot get on rowdy on an airplane.
No, not. And you know how bad you want to. I'll be honest. I've never repped Jacksonville. I'm proud to be around this area for a long time, but there was some guy the seat, one behind me and over, was just really fucking trying me during the delay. He's like, no, I don't care how long it takes. I'm not spending another night in Jacksonville. And
hey, yo.
Oh man, dude, he caught me. Yo. He caught me
where are you from, Des Moines?
It was like if I was a fucking dog and the hair in the back of my neck was standing up, right before I fucking barked or bit at you. This guy's like, I'm not spending another night in Jacksonville. And it would almost help if he was a little pussy. A little gay guy, real flamboyant or whatever.
Unfortunately, his name was Judd.
He was one of those, like you say, he's one of those Des Moines badasses. He was wearing the dude shirt. Oh, I get it. You like fucking the Big Lebowski, dude. So do I, but
there you go.
He's wearing one of those fucking Fallout Boy army caps.
Fallout Boy.
Do you know what I'm talking about? The little
the painter's cap.
Yeah, and he's also probably 10 years older than I am.
Pure white sneakers.
Oh, he had boots on. He had carpenter jeans. I sized him up that much, and I had that much time with him. But he starts talking shit. Then he says, yeah, it's a problem on the starboard side. Holy fuck, you posing piece of shit. Did you ever fucking say that, James? Would you ever say it's starboard? You'd say it's the right wing. It's a fucking plane, not a boat.
I don't admit to being right wing lately.
You are right wing lately. What do you think about this guy that's talking shit on the plane about Jacksonville?
No, I completely I could see where you would kick in with what we have is that New York attitude. Hey, oh, what are you talking about Jacksonville for?
Hey, man, that's my city. I'm
from.
Yeah.
You from Frisco, faggot?
He was. He was.
You don't fuck with somebody's.
Here's the funny thing. He's probably from Atlanta. He probably was from Atlanta. We were going to Atlanta.
Right. If he's going to Atlanta.
He probably was. And he's just I'm not spending a night in Jacksonville. He's I don't even remember. That's it. I didn't even remember what he said after that. Except he pissed me off with the starboard thing. But I was like...
You blacked out in rage.
And I'm not this badass. I'm not a fighter by any means. So I wasn't looking at him I want to beat his ass. But I was definitely looking at him please say something else. Because I'm going to say something, and me and you are going to fucking have words.
I told that guy what I thought about him.
Fight him, I'd have won, but... Huh?
Well, I was thinking you're I'll tell that guy what I think of him on the inside.
Yeah. That's the thing, man. You have to on a plane. And that's what sucks. Fucking terrorists, man. 9/11 fucked that up. COVID's fucked a lot of shit up. But
yeah.
And we're all going to talk, pre-COVID. But pre-9/11, that's fucked a lot of shit up. Pre-9/11, post-9/11 is why we have to wear masks in airports. And it's like saying bomb in the air. Doing this in the airport is like saying bomb
on a plane
right now.
Can't say bomb on a plane.
Yeah, it's like saying bomb. You go. However, if you go into the Chili's and spend $12 a beer, you take it off and do anything you want and get on any plane after that.
Feel free to
$12 beers at the Chili's get you a free COVID just pass. As long as you're buying $12 Bud Lights and our Chili's and $40 newspapers at our CNBC convenience newsstand, then you can take your mask off.
You're free. You're weird.
But if you try to scratch your mustache during an hour and a half delay, I will fucking rape you on the wing.
You see these politicians. What happens. So that's a good segue. You see these politicians, but all of a sudden they're pulling the mask off to.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Isn't that funny?
I'm sorry. Was that inconvenient for you? We have to speak with the mask on.
I guess this is how it works, man, and this is how I'll agree. But I guess we have to wait till March. A big defense that's coming out is if we show in 2020 had less deaths than 2019 and 2018, on the average, then it's great. But we have to wait until probably June to take that measure to make an argument about it, right? Right?
Yeah, good 6 months from.
Yeah, good 6 months from in. Yeah, like we can't just
September to March,
because that's going to work to a lot of fucking media strategy. It's going to work to a lot of Republican and or Democrat strategy, and it's like we can't do that. And that's happening.
For a fact that they're all, like you said, when we're not looking, they're at a Chili's. They're at a Chili's together without a mask.
Relaxing.
And Bernie, that was funny what you said about the minimum wage. Here, have another.
For fuck's sake. Bernie is my guy. Everybody knows it. I get made fun of a lot for that. And I just don't give a fuck. That's why I have this mustache. And, couple other things, man. Racist restaurants. You heard about that on Yelp?
No, I am not a Yelp guy.
So I heard it on another podcast, but I felt like it was something to talk about, especially since I do some local stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is there's like a new alert that you can set on Yelp.
An alert for racism?
Yeah, so let's see if I can find a Yelp racism button. Yeah, it's a button. I forgot to hit this. See, I don't have a producer, but you can see this. New consumer on Yelp takes first. So you can literally, there's a button.
I don't know how far
you can say there's racist behavior at this restaurant. So let's just go ahead.
This isn't my show, and my show, I would have
something to say. Didn't say it. This is my show, and I would love for you to just speak your mind on it.
I done left 1 star because of the lack of fried chicken.
Right. And that happens.
I want to see
and I've reviewed on Yelp, or not Yelp before, but I think TripAdvisor and stuff. I like to help my buddies downtown and shit out.
Well,
but
sure.
It's not something I like to do. I love to bitch about a restaurant, and I first ever ranted a couple of weeks ago, and 2 days later, that same restaurant got rats. So I feel justified. But I never rant. I talk bitch to my wife about it, but never really go into it.
It's not like you bought a It's not like you bought a domain name and put up a website over.
That's what I was kind of going to get at. But you've seen, like you think is a little racism and prejudice and bullshit at a local restaurant, which is now closed down forever.
Oh, I got to take the website down?
You probably keep it up, but I'm letting you know that establishment is now shut down for good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I swear I thought they were open.
No, it just happened. They are shut down for good.
Did I do that? No.
You probably fucking helped. That being said, you can, if I didn't like my food at a place that I'm ranting about, I'm just going to go hit that racist button.
Sure, why not?
It's there. There's a racist activity button on Yelp. Have you ever, first 2 questions before have you ever, one, ran into like racism at a restaurant, and 2, what the fuck do you think about that button? Because it's pretty fucking insane to me.
I feel like I have to use, I'm going to Olive Garden as an Italian, And I'm going to say, hey,
You're Italian.
I'm Italian. So I'm going to say, hey, the line was long, the food was cold, and I felt a little racist. If the button's there, right, why not?
So I did hear it on the podcast that I listened to. And
I'm Sicilian, by the way, not Italian, but
oh, then you got to go to a Sicilian restaurant. You could probably kill on the green.
That's supposed to be funny.
Is it on? I heard it. But on the green, it's delicious. It's great. Please eat it. This is just an example. There's Sicilian Cafe. They're amazing. But you could just be like, that's a racist place. And they're a local business. And so anyone that's in town to eat will see that and never go.
So here's the funny thing about that restaurant. Which, by the way...
Is it on the green? Is that what's going on? It's been delicious to me.
On transparency due, it is probably one of the best slices of pizza that you'll get in Camden. Let me say that.
Oh, it's definitely... I think it's the best in Camden.
But... First strike number one, they're from Boston. So it's just a strike. It has to be a strike. Okay. I walked in there, no pun intended. I wheeled in there. And, I'm all excited, right? This guy's going to make the New York. Now, listen, I'm going to repeat myself. By far the best pizza that you'll get in St. Mary's. I was taken back when I saw the pepperoni underneath the cheese. I said,
"Is that how to do it? Isn't that how to do it?"
So I said, "Okay, great tasting." Going forward, word of advice from a guy who's been eating this for 40 years.
Wait, hold your thought. Is it not? Hear me out. Is it not bread, sauce, cheese, pepperoni, more cheese?
No, that wasn't the attempt.
They're not doing that. They're going bread, sauce, pepperoni, cheese.
Yeah,
man.
Next time you go, you're going to look at it and you're going to go. Next time you go there, you're going to go.
No. Oh. I've never had their pizza, to be fair.
So I said to them,
had a lot of their food. It's great.
I said to them, "This is great." I said, "This is great. I love it. I'm going to have 2 more." I said, "Just word of advice. Put the pepperoni on top of the cheese so it curls, right? You get that little cupping, right? And then the oils get caught. Exactly." Do you know what they said to me? They said,
"Get out of here."
Virtually, right? Almost with a Boston, right? They're like, "You're a cousin from Boston." He goes,
"Get your car out of my yard, you piece of shit."
He goes, I appreciate it, but if you want to, you could tell us to do that before we make the pizza. And that's where I drew the line.
Yeah, the owners didn't say that to you, did they? That's probably some worker that said something that.
All I know is that they're from Boston. It was a Patriots game up in the corner.
Do you think
pizza? So
I've been to Boston, but I've never eaten pizza there because there's so much other food.
Pizza.
Do you think, Matt, people in Boston do their pizza like that, or is that a Sicily thing? Because it could be an actual Sicilian Italian thing. They put egg in pizza and shit.
Typically,
over there,
Sicilian pizza square. That's
like Little Caesars?
Thick dough. Yeah, basically.
Awesome.
If you ever go to Massachusetts, in Massachusetts, where they have their own pizza, Massachusetts pie. So a New York pie by default,
thin slice,
18 inches.
Yeah.
Massachusetts pizza is 24.
God damn, but it's like rectangle or square.
No. It's around 24
6 down by 6.
Fucking wheelchair wheel of a pie.
There's a 12. Yeah, I got you.
So when you go to Massachusetts and you get a pie pizza, it's like one slice. You're like, okay, right? It's so if they did that in St. Mary's,
anyone listening out there and anyone listening live, do you prefer deep dish, or thin crust, or the corporate ass hand shit, whatever hand toss shit that's gay. Go ahead.
I've lost my train of thought, but I will say,
where do you think's the best? Like Boston, New York, Chicago? Like where the fuck is the best pizza? Or do you have to actually go to Italy?
Famous Ray's
like
on 56.
Like do you like the big old slice thin?
56th and 8th, New York style, the real Ray's.
Famous Ray's.
That's
the Can real we look Ray's. That up?
Go ahead.
Let's check that out. Can we say that? Is it still around?
You're about to fall. Hey, you know how Southerners make fun of us and say, "Do you ever go snipe hunting?"
You just fucked me. Oh, there it is.
Click on.
I thought you were bullshitting me.
There's a secret in New York. There is. I am bullshitting you.
You are bullshitting me, you piece of shit.
You know
You're
what?
Live on a podcast, dude. You can't get away with that.
There's nobody in New York. Nobody in New York.
Oh, it's like a fishing spot. Is that what you're saying?
Nobody knows who Ray is, so everybody opens up a Ray's Pizza.
That's crazy.
It's like
everybody loves Raymond.
There's jokes in it. If you watch a New York show like Friends or Raymond or whatever, I went to Famous Ray's Pizza. Oh, the one on 8th Avenue? And they'll say, no, the one on 13th Street. That's not the right Ray's. There's no real Ray's Pizza. Nobody knows who it is. One of them is the real, original Famous Ray's.
And do you know where that is?
No, it's a myth. It's
I kind of thought, and it was kind of I romanticized with the thought that
they will all tell you that
there might be one somewhere.
There is.
You'll never fucking tell me. I just thought you may knew.
We don't know.
Oh, no one really. You've got to find it. You're an upstater as well, so.
No, I'm a Long Islander.
Well, upstate, Long Island, same thing. Might as well be Staten Island,
bro. You think so?
Oh, I don't know shit about New York. I'm just hearing what I hear. I'm talking about what I hear.
You just insulted the fuck out of me.
Oh, great. I've called you so many disabled shit before, and that's the one that gets you.
You call Long Island upstate? Forget about it.
That's like calling you disabled.
I'm an angry cripple now.
So
Long Island.
If you listen, I get it. Everyone's got a fishing spot, but you live down here. What's the best pizza in New York? Come on, and then you can go with your bit.
You're okay with any New York City style pizza?
Really?
Yeah.
Like really?
If the guy talks Italian and he makes the thin crust pizza in the real oven,
if he's like thin, you said thin. Okay. Yeah. Like, then you know you're getting it all right.
You know it's all the same water. It doesn't matter if it's up
right.
or not.
Yeah, that's great water.
New York got special. New York.
Did you hear about the guy that got fucking caught selling tap water on eBay from New York? This is no shit, a real thing.
I would buy it.
He was selling bottled water on eBay or some shit, or maybe the dark web, whatever. But it was Manhattan water.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and people,
and it's the best water in the world.
People all over the world that were from there or lived there were fucking buying it like $100 a case.
Yeah.
And this guy made so much money. Got caught because his water bill was like, I don't know, like $6,000 a month or something. So he was pocketing so much money.
I was gonna say
running his tap water.
What was your water bill in St. Mary's?
Well, you know what? I don't know. Hold on. I don't know how much his water bill was because I think there's a cap on it, which there is here, but he got caught using the gallons. So give me a second. I think mine's right around like 50. Let's say $50, give or take.
Okay.
I think the most I've ever paid was like 60, which is like hurricane season or something. I've paid as low, and I do pay as low as like 45.
Really, 45?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to know what the price of New York water is?
I don't know.
No argument.
You got to love a water softener down here in this end of the country.
No argument. A 1-bedroom apartment with half a bathroom is $3,000 a month. We know this.
Right. That's rent up there. Yeah.
But your water bill in New York is approximately $10.
Oh, I was thinking you were going the whole other direction with that. That's great.
$10.
And it's delicious.
Every 3 months. So
you're talking $3.33.3 $0.3333333333333 cents a month.
So there was a law enacted in New York in the 1800s. And the reason why New York... It's that old. The law was enacted in the 1800s that said that New York should never, and I guess they put in whatever their legal political crap, should never ever raise the price of water because water can't necessarily have an increase in cost.
Of course.
Water's right. It's a logical law. Now the reason why New York water is good is because, much like in Rome,
fucking America.
Remember Rome had the aqueducts?
Yeah. Hmm?
So, in New York, we have aqueducts.
Europe's covered in them. Europe's just covered in them.
New York is covered in aqueducts. The water comes from the mountains down the aqueducts, right? Through Poughkeepsie. It follows the Hudson River.
We don't live like that down here. So I get it. I get how much it costs, and I get how shitty it is, and how we have to have water softeners, and it sucks, and purifiers and aerators, and it sucks. But it shouldn't be that should be kind of a service for us, actually living here and giving this place economy and in general. But go ahead,
no, there's a lot to be said at the idea of, water should never really increase in price.
Ever.
Rain, right? It'll rain.
We go to... hey, if it doesn't and well water runs out, then I'll be dead way before that. So, because water fucking tastes like shit. However, first thing I've done, and my father has done, the last, let's say 3 or 4 times we've been to Europe, i.e. Scotland, is walk into grandma's kitchen and pour a glass of water with no ice even, which I'm used to and I love. If she's got it, I'll get it. I pour a glass of water and just drink it right out of the tap. It's so fucking good. And I'm not saying New York's is better. I'm not saying New York's is worse. I've never had New York City water. But I know how much... Granted, you guys pay for it in taxes. I get it. We all get it. But it's supposed to be amazing, and I would love if it was just like that. It's just everywhere, man. But I understand here it takes a lot of technology and science. And
see, we make that joke. We make that joke when we moved down here. We go, I gave up pizza, I gave bagels, I gave up bacon.
Because it's all in the water.
Right. I gave all
that. Soil, too.
I don't like paying.
I've had fries in Boston, but they're probably at TGI Fridays or something, so they weren't real. But
I don't
you go
like
to Scotland and eat the chips. It's an amazing. It's so different.
I don't want to pay $500 to renew my license plate on my car. So I traded it off.
So Grace Papaya is out of the question because I'm not paying to renew my license plate.
I'm not interested. Right. I'm not interested in the New York is ridiculous.
Anything. You would move back there?
No, I don't think I would move back there.
What would it take? Just in general, realistically, right? What would it take to move back to New York or New York City? I'm talking Long Island.
I was going to say.
New York City. You're in New York State down here. It's just hotter in the water shit.
Honestly, if I was
people are way more up. I'll take that back.
All right, I would live in. You said I can't live on Long Island, so I would live.
No. That's where you move. What would it take for you to move back to the city, not upstate New York? Oh, you're talking Long Island's a little upstate? I don't think so.
No, Long Island is
New York
urban.
City.
Long Island is metro to New York.
Oh, yeah, okay. Like Fernandina is to Jacksonville?
Yes.
Okay. So,
yeah,
makes sense. But, all right, go for it.
I would
lived in the city, yeah? No?
I lived all over.
All right, so you move back in the city. What would it take now?
It would take a free home. Right. Or the ability.
Or $1 billion salary. Is that what you're trying to say about that?
No. If I saved up $4 million.
Okay.
Knowing that I can
I'm working on it. I've got 4.
You got 4. So let's say I save up 4. And when I say save up 4 million, I mean 4 million liquid available.
Yours, 4 million tax
cash.
Your 4 million, yeah, cash. I think that's the term, isn't it?
So I save up $4 million.
Yeah,
knowing that it's not going to anything else.
Yeah, I got you. I
would go up. I would go up to Brooklyn.
Question.
I'd go up to Brooklyn, and I would buy a house on the ocean because no matter what, I want to have a driveway with a car in it.
So do you want? Yeah, you're a car guy, man. The city's
I don't want to
take you a little bit, huh?
Right. So in Brooklyn, I don't need to. I have the option of.
So you're talking like Martha's Vineyard, like Brooklyn's kind of. Okay,
no,
keep going.
No,
I know shit. I'm ignorant.
South Shore of Brooklyn, you got yourself a good 1/4 acre, 3-bedroom ranch.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah. Beachfront.
Isn't that crazy to think about around here?
Beachfront.
It's crazy to think about where I live because houses are just built on half them, minimum.
Yeah.
I hate mowing my yard. I hate mowing my yard because I have a fucking half-acre property.
I think I
holy shit.
Yeah,
that's why the people over the rest of the world hate us. They think we just have all this fucking space. Like, look at Japan; they've got none. Indians, they've got none. They're staying in little slots and They think my half-acre is amazing, it's great, but it's not because some other guy's got 12 down the road, down the same block.
That's another part of a problem in New York. You have to like people.
Okay, you have to back like to people. You. Brooklyn. You're in South Brooklyn in a house.
Yeah, I'm in a house. Right.
So that's what it would take for you to get back to the city.
4-wheel drive for my beach sand driveway.
So you're not even worried about going to the city. When would you go to the city? For the shops?
I'd work in the city. I'd work in Manhattan.
That's what's just how far from where you live? How far is Manhattan?
From Brooklyn?
Yeah, from where you're living at this point.
I'd say 30-minute subway ride.
Well, at least you're riding the subway. Yeah, I'll take that all day.
Yeah.
I rode the subway in Atlanta on Friday night, or not the subway, MARTA. My flight was supposed to be there by 7 p.m. I was like, I lived in the city. I'll take MARTA at 7 p.m. 11 p.m. is a whole different story, bud, especially from the airport. But it was a $78 Uber ride from where I wanted to go. However, you get to the next stop, and Uber's $22. It's that airport price shit. Anyway, I rode MARTA. I'm a badass.
You save your little Metro card and frame it. Like, I went to Atlanta once.
My Breeze card.
Is that what it is? And you call them Metro cards?
It's called a Breeze card in Atlanta now on MARTA. Breeze card. Like the wind of Chicago.
It's actually called Metro card.
MARTA stands for
Metropolitan
Atlanta Transit Association, or Atlanta Rail Transit Association, I think. Oh, Rapid. Metropolitan Atlanta Rapid Transit Authority.
Rapid Transit Authority. Okay.
Do you know what I grew up thinking MARTA stood for? I didn't think MARTA was a real thing. I just thought that was a name for the transit, like white people made up.
Like the maid you had
growing up? It stood for Moving Africans Rapidly Through Atlanta. That's what I thought that was a made up thing for like their trains. I thought it was like called Atlanta Rail or something. Like I was ignorant. I had no idea what it was called. Like, no, man, we call it MARTA. Oh, that sounds cool. Oh yeah, MARTA. Moving Africans. Like what? It's insane. Insanity. Now I'll tell you what. There is a lot of African Americans in Atlanta. There's a lot of white people in Atlanta. There's millions of people spread out that area.
I feel like
the MARTA transit area.
Wait a minute. I feel like there's a lot of white people around Atlanta.
Here's the deal. I'm getting to it, James. I'll be honest.
I'm imagining a circle.
There's not a ton of white people riding MARTA. But this guy, ignorant to it, when he first moved there, I tell you, I was so appreciative of public transit and what the fuck was going on, how cheap it was. I ride to work wearing a tie and a suit and shit like that. Yeah. Never thought different. And then it happened.
When I first moved here.
I did get like fucking almost raped on MARTA.
When I first
and
moved
that shit sucks.
I saw the railroad tracks and I said, "Whoa, there's a train?"
It's almost like jail. Like you're in a fucking 28-minute jail. Like if jail's anything like MARTA on like a deep fucking like so if you get off work, right? And you're on like the happy hour train where everyone's getting off work and going home, all good. But if like you get off work late, they're just waiting on you. And by the way, I'm not saying Africans at this point. I was talking, that was something that was said.
Who are they?
Because it's a minority thing, but it's also like a young college kid. I'm telling you, I feel like I was almost raped on MARTA. I don't care. MARTA is the shit. And I'll tell you, it's spot on with time. It's the best one I've ever seen. I've been on the T. I've been in I've been on the fucking, mind the Gap, the Tube. I've been in London and went on that. The best one for timing I've ever seen is fucking Atlanta, MARTA. They're nail it, dude. They just took until last year to start accepting credit cards. Like they're like that.
Sort of the Camden tag office.
Yeah, that happens. But yeah, MARTA's is shit. But I couldn't believe that when I first moved up there and first heard it. However, I was just like, fuck it. And you get that confidence in you, but you also watch motherfuckers that just prey on idiots and prey on tourists and prey on new guys, and it's bullshit. But you can't say anything. You might get stabbed. Because there is a lot of fucking homeless and disgusting people. By the way, they're not all Africans. They're just, but they prey on MARTA tourists. There's people that'll help you figure out the computer, like when you're trying to buy your ticket, and then be like, $5, man. $5. Yeah. And you guys are, dude, what the fuck?
It's all the same in New York.
So you say you don't have any money, and you're like, well, just buy me a ticket to West Side, to buy me a ticket to Sandy Springs. And you're just like, nah, man. Like, come on, dude. Like, I don't. They're just like, they know you got money in the card. It's bullshit. I've been approached by white, black, yellow. I don't know. What's the other fucking color of people over there in fucking Bangladesh? Just fucking say it. I don't know.
Believe it or not,
they all fucking approach me.
It's
Atlanta.
Special. The white people are special, though. You know, listen.
Atlanta's a fucking good town. The white homeless, disgusting people.
Go to New York City.
Leave it all away.
Go to New York City, and in Manhattan, like downtown Manhattan, you can line up a black guy and a Spanish guy and a white guy, and I promise you that white guy is the one with the bugs crawling all over his skin. Half a shoe,
man. We're not scared of that shit.
Right, the white guy's like, so what if I got one sock?
Did you see how proud I was to be white there, that I wouldn't let you talk shit? I'm like, yeah, man, we're not scared of bugs. What's up? Those guys clean themselves? That's bullshit.
That's literally,
oh, man, white and proud. And I'll say that over and
white. There's your white pride.
Jesus Christ. So I told my buddies, please just, I'm playing next Thursday. I'm trying to go to the Mustache. It's open mic, so you can't take yourself too serious. I got 6 minutes. I want at least 3 minutes out of just self-hating to see how the audience reacts. Maybe find a good one for next time. And then I'm going to rip them to shreds for the last 2 minutes, if I can.
So essentially, if you tell
if anyone plus you can find any way to hate on my appearance only, because I get it. I'm self-aware enough to know I'm dumb and stupid and all that and not funny. But yeah, just hate on this as much as you can so that I can just hate on myself for 4 minutes.
The fact that you're preparing a week to grow a mustache should be.
Oh, it sucks, dude. I'm definitely going to say that. I'm definitely going to say it. This took me a week.
Pre-plan this.
And then here's what I'm thinking to go into it is, anyway, enough about me. I'm really glad to finally meet you guys and talk about your car's extended warranty. I've been calling you for fucking weeks. But I know you.
Oh, my goodness.
Or was supposed to be this black club last week, and I was going to say, I know how y'all guys avoid those calls in case they're debt collectors. Yeah. I think if I work it the right way, it could work, man. But again, I'm just gonna roast myself for 4 minutes if I can, and then go with that. So I definitely need ideas. Please hate on me.
You could extra credit advice. That target audience loves making jokes about credit scores and all that.
Oh yeah, they're so fun.
I'm not even being racist.
It's so fun. No, that's kind of how poor people hate on each other. I do it all the time. I really do it all the time. I'm not loaded, but I got a little bit of credit. So does my wife does. So there you go. But no, man, like poor people love doing that. So it's just like anyone that's just like sometimes kind of flashy, but sometimes kind of like you can see it. It's just credit score jokes go a long way, man. I'm totally with you on that.
Yeah, they do.
So listen, we're gonna wrap this up in a little bit, like just pretty soon, right? I've got to keep it short for the ADD motherfuckers out there. LeBron or Jordan? Who's the GOAT right now? Who's the GOAT? LeBron just won his 4th championship with his 3rd team. However, like his two, man, I don't know. He's special, and I think he may have a case at this point.
He's not 63 years old, right? So
Jordan Jordan's like 57, I think. Jordan's pushing 60. He really is. He's like, well, let's look it up. Here, hold on. Go ahead. Go ahead with your thoughts.
I'm saying if he's collecting Social Security sometime soon, it's
Michael Jordan.
Don't you have like $1 billion?
He's a year older than my mom. So Michael Jordan's like 55. He's 57. So he's pushing 60. Yeah, he's 57 years old.
Got $1 billion in the bank.
Oh, yeah, fuck all that. I'm talking about who's the GOAT. Like, that's the big argument. The 2 days after LeBron James just won his 4th world championship. Who is the GOAT right now in your mind? You're going to say Jordan because you grew up with him.
No, I was going the opposite way. I was saying LeBron because, I'm being prejudiced in a reversed manner.
I think that fucking dare be prejudiced on my show.
I'm thinking that if you are known, wait a minute. I'm thinking in my mind that if you are known for your $1 billion companies, okay, hear me out. You're known. You've done movie appearances.
Oh, LeBron's making Space Jam 2. Like,
fine, but
he's doing a remake. So he literally is younger than Jordan was, I think.
At any rate, it is a lot easier to be perceived as the greatest of all time when you're done. When you can essentially buy your way to being the greatest of all time.
You saw the documentary.
No, I did not. What are you talking about?
First of all, you should. Okay. So 2 things about the documentary. It's called The Last Dance. It's now available on Netflix. The Chicago Bulls had a documentary crew follow him around. But Jordan bought the footage, made a documentary. He produced it. No, it's
That's what you've proven.
Remember Dave the Chappelle show when he did he made fun of the Bobby Fischer and he's like, oh, I'm going to do a documentary about myself. And he's born like a 10-inch dick and he's the president. It's crazy, right? It's essentially Jordan's version of this. And it's fucking crazy. Yeah, that's a good.
So you're not the great. You're
call.
Not the greatest.
Generational GOAT is a great call. And again, Bill Russell, a lot of titles. Here's what I'm saying about LeBron and Jordan is you said it. He does this, does it. The millions of dollars. It's generational. I get it. And I think a lot of people my age, within 2 years younger and 3 or 4 years older, maybe 10 years older, so from 44 to like 31, 32, they're there going, I've seen it all. Like, who is it? But I think there's a cutoff when they've grown up with him as children where you can't just be like, oh, I watched Jordan. I watched LeBron.
Would Kobe Bryant be on your list? Would Kobe Bryant?
Kobe Bryant is on and this is not about him dying, and that's sad.
I was going to say if
Kobe Bryant was a lot of people's favorite for a lot of time. I don't know how to measure the terms of greatness, and you're right.
Jennifer's on to something.
She is on to something. So here's my question, and we can make it on next podcast. Is why is LeBron not better than Jordan without anyone mentioning 6 rings? Because if I say 4 rings, if I like LeBron and I say, man, LeBron's the greatest, and I'm not saying it's my opinion, but I'm saying anyone, I like LeBron. Look at 4 rings, man. And then someone immediately shuts it down by saying, well, he's got 6 rings. No one can touch him. It's literally on the screen. Bill Russell has 11 titles. So you're telling me Shaq's not one of the best center ever? Shaq could have killed a lot of centers that played the game. But the best ones had 5. Shaq got 4.
You're only as strong as your team. So
right. And it's really that's the greatest argument right there. And LeBron won it with Cleveland in 2016? I think it's sad. I think a lot of people said, oh, he won it with Miami with these guys. He won it in LA with these guys. This motherfucker won it in Cleveland. He went there and people wanted to be there, and that's right. Rings on fingers is great. Mark, how do you feel? This is a change of subject a little bit. How do you feel about Dan Marino? How do you feel about Peyton Manning?
Fucking Peyton.
Because Ben Roethlisberger, according to Rings on Fingers, is just as good. Trent Dilfer is half as good. Byron Leftwich, half as good. Actually, Trent Dilfer is better than Dan Marino. According to your fucking logic here, Trent Dilfer and who was it? Eric Johnson? I don't fucking know. Played with the Bucks, James, when they won that shit. Yeah. Anyway, apparently, according to Mark, who I like, Trent Dilfer and Kerry Collins are better than Dan Marino and Matt Ryan. They're better than Matt Ryan because they have rings on fingers. So that's the most bullshit argument I've ever heard, especially in American sports.
By the way, Cam Newton still got the COVID-19. Donald Trump shook it off quicker.
Is the truth, and Cam Newton will win a fucking championship.
Donald Trump shook off COVID-19 quicker than Cam Newton?
Did you see Donald Trump on his cocktail? I'm not going to bring it up. I'll get sued Cam Newton if I bring it up. You should have seen that motherfucker, man. Did you not see him? He was like, he should have hosted this podcast. Guy was ridiculously drunk.
No, but that's the best way to be.
Oh, man, he's a president. It's nice to see something like that. It's like, oh, he's superhuman. He's an absolute human at this point.
Well, he was high as fuck, Vic, because he was like, I demand that everybody...
He was ripped, dude. He's like, I'll kiss the guys.
He demanded that they
I'll kiss the guys.
He literally demanded on Twitter.
Like it was a bad thing. And that's what he should. Okay, it might be for him, but he's not allowed to say that.
You could tell that he demanded on Twitter that everybody stop negotiating the stimulus plan. Then he woke up the next morning. He woke up the next morning, hungover, grabbed his phone, and went, "Did I type this?" Because now
that's it. That's exactly what happened.
He's demanding that they get back in negotiating.
Well, he has to.
He looked at his phone and he went, "Oh my God, I was so drunk. I told him to stop."
There's no doubt in my mind that that's exactly what happened.
Yes.
There's one question to be answered.
In the White House, they're like, "Sir, you told us to stop negotiating." He probably looked at them and went, "I was drunk." Like that was his actual. So, like, yeah, whatever. I was drunk. I'd say anything.
So, Mike, I'm with you. 100% agreed.
Ted Kennedy was behind him.
If we're using technicalities here to not hate on the president or politics and stuff, then it was actually like, unless he typed it. That's our perception, and we love it, right? That sounds way cooler than the other actual if, because it is the only other actual if. Is
somebody took over.
Somebody fucking did that shit. And it could have been his cabinet. Could have been fine. But
yeah,
I think if he had that shit, that's it. He was just hammered, being like, nah, fuck it. And then the next morning he wakes up and finds out, and maybe he didn't find out. You're saying, you're right. He could have been like, oh, fuck, I did this. But he could also been, I've been there. I'm 100%. I know what I'm doing. I'm confident. This is a smart decision. And then wake up and see, like, hey, man, if the stimulus can wait, then shouldn't the whole judge thing wait? And that's when it's the first time he ever thought about it. Was just like, oh, shit.
God damn it. We're overthinking it, though.
No,
I believe it was the next morning. They're like,
no, I think you're right. There just is other possibilities because people are going to shut us down. People are like, you fucking idiots. Let's explore all the options. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Sorry.
He woke up, right? Mitch McConnell, like, rolled over in bed and
oh my God. I was so hoping you'd say the opposite so I could rip you on it. But you nailed it. That's my man. Good job, dude. Mitch McConnell stopped sucking his toe and then came up.
AOC put the camera down
and her dick right under. She tucked that shit right in.
So McConnell turned around and went, Mr. President, you should know that we've halted all negotiations as of last night. And Donald Trump went, why? Why would you do that? Sir, you.
They probably put it's the White House. So it's on big screen. I've seen 24.
Sir, you've tweeted it out.
For fuck's sake, this is just as bad as Kofi.
Kofefi?
He's a fucking
properly
moron
pronounced
sometimes,
Kofefi.
dude.
Kofefi.
Well, you got to ask him about that, bud. I think you're my only viewer when it says one, but I appreciate it. It will be available on YouTube and shit. I know, James, that we could keep this shit going for like 6 hours.
That's a problem.
I'm just not famous enough yet to keep a 2-hour episode interesting. I think it is hard on me sometimes to do it alone. So I really appreciate you being available to come in and at least, fuck with me and banter with me, man. I really do appreciate it.
Hard on.
Oh, I got one in a world. I love it.
I gotta bring you. I gotta bring you back on the Saturday Night Show over on my
I'd love to be on one, man. So thanks for leading that in, or leading me into that. I hope you stick around for it while I finish the show. Is that I am going to be live next Thursday, the 22nd of October, Creative Veins. I was supposed to have an Atlanta gig, and I was so pumped, but it sucked, didn't work out. I've got on Thursday, Will Powers on Awareless. We're going to be talking about pedophiles and why we should kill all of them and why we shouldn't kill all of them.
Well,
the way he wants. So let's put that out there. I'm going to talk a little science into his ass, and we're going to go with that. Also, he's a fun guy, so we're going to talk about a lot of shit. I have on Tuesday, Dave Mills, Music Mills Entertainment. I have Thaxton Rowe of Thaxton Friends, Colored Sound. I've got Duncan Cannon joining me. I also joining Duncan Cannon October 21st at Jay's Tavern for a live podcast. And I've got Colby Word coming on for part 2 and Josh McGowan coming on for part 2. Oh, I forgot all about him. I'm so sorry. Aaron Lane will be joining me on maybe Sunday. I don't know when I'm going to release it, but we're going to get drunk together and talk bullshit on the mic, and I'm really excited about that. He's a really talented guy.
I should go crash your podcast at Jay's.
You don't. It's not mine. It's Frank and the Jobber. You should totally come.
Even
so
better.
We're going to rip the piss out of you, but first of all, you're the only guy I know who can take it and give it back at the same time. So
we'll accidentally make them a number one show, and we'll walk home going,
yeah, I'll be there October 21st with Duncan. It's called Frank and the Jobber. Dude, these guys are funny as shit. And then there'll be a show after it. Josh McGowan, my good buddy, he is hosting open mic, basically open jam at Jay's on Tuesdays. They just started opening back up. They'll be there for a while. I'm going to sing in a couple Tuesdays from now as soon as he learns the songs I want. And as soon as it's bombing and I have to bring my comedy to the stage, which is not going to happen. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We're available on YouTube, Spotify, cyberfmradio.com. Check that shit out. Thanks, James. Anchor, Apple. I don't know. I'm all over the fucking place, but check out cyberfmradio.com. If you can't find me there, of course, I'm on mickmotherwell.com. I love you very much. James, thanks, man. I really appreciate you, bub.
Anytime.
I think I'm going to try for the first time. I'm usually really hammered and just like fucking throw my computer down. So what I think I'm going to try is to play my my song on the way out. It's a good hype song. But let's see if it's a good going out song. Thanks very much, man. Take care of yourself and each other.